Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more of Paranormasight, the Mermaid's Curse. So we're continuing with Avi and Cersei for now. I haven't played these chapters before, so it will be as new for me as it is for you, which would be nice after the last time. We're looking like we're going to have a look at the descendant, the one who descended from the human survivor of the Taishima disaster, as I'm choosing to call it. We're looking for a device called the Tamatabako, a treasure required to obtain immortality. Avi assumes that the descendant of Taishima, whom Akoma knows, has inherited it. He tries to scheme a way to meet them. Let's begin. Hello again, Arnav Parnham's back on the scene. Allow me to summarize? As expected, Akoma contacted us today. Telling us he's always breaking the fourth wall, this guy. Telling us we'd have to wait a little longer before we could meet the descendant. Thus, figuring he had no intention of letting us meet her anyway, we decided to use Cersei's ability to go looking for the descendant ourselves. Who exactly are you talking to? I'm merely setting the scene. Really feels like it raises the stakes, no? Makes it feel more like a thrilling adventure. Sure, well you got me all worked up. But I'm trying to concentrate, so could you please stop distracting me? Oh, right, sorry. Alright, well, we're going to have a little look for Mockingboids. Are there any Mockingboids here? Probably not. Doesn't seem. Alright, let's have a look around. This is the town of Ijika in Toba City. The area is one of many in the area, renowned for its armor divers. He thinking of? Cersei is using her dowsing ability to search for the descendant right now. Oops, we can zoom in. I didn't know. What's that? Doesn't her dowsing ability only let us look for spiritual energy? And on top of that, doesn't she have to be familiar with the energy she's looking for? Well, that's right. I was thinking the same thing. However, Cersei was perfectly prepared. Before parting with Akoma yesterday, she asked him to hand the iron box to the descendant when he paid her a visit. She said the descendant ought to have it, since it is so deeply connected to Taishima's history. Akoma agreed on the matter and would apparently go through with it. Assuming he did hand it over. Then the iron box with its massive amount of spiritual energy has fallen into the lap of our target. Now Cersei just has to use her dowsing ability to locate the box. At least, that's the plan. She seems focused. Best not to interrupt her now. Alright, do we look at her? Cersei is completely focused on dowsing right now. There are several types of dowsing techniques, but it seems like she's using a pendulum. It would seem that the necklace she wears can be used for such a purpose. The closer you get to the target, the stronger the pendulum swings. He doesn't want to talk to her right now, so what else can I do? Maybe I'll try talking to her again now that I've done everything else. Okay, Arnav, what is your plan? Should we think again? However, her dowsing's range is limited. The spiritual energy the iron box possesses, its range is probably just 2 or 3 kilometers. So we had to narrow down the target area somewhat before starting our search. Oh, okay. A little flashback. So any idea where we must start looking for the descendant? I think, Mr. Akoma said something about visiting us several times before she finally agreed to talk, didn't he? He did, which would mean that she must live close enough for him to have paid her frequent visits. Yeah, exactly. So I think it'd be best to start by searching the towns within Toba. I see, but there are quite a few towns in the area, right? What about that? When we parted yesterday, Mr. Akoma mentioned something else that stuck with me. When you asked to meet the descendant, he said he'd probably drop by later anyway, since he had to handle the matter with Miss Suma. Ah, right, he did say that, so basically the descendant lived close to Suma. Yeah, I was thinking the same. Those towns with many armor divers are our top candidates. So that means we should probably start by searching all the towns in Toba that are home to a lot of armor divers. That's right, we can make our way up by searching along the coast for starters. It'd be nice if we could at least learn the descendant's name. We might have a lead on that. Thinking your research into the past of this place? Oh, right. Well, I believe her name... The Taishima survivor. Okay, I might have to look in files. Let's start with the... that one. Was it Sumikawa or something like that? Man named Somekawa. Somekawa, that's what Taishima's survivor was called. If there are any descendants, they may still bear the same name. That's right. It's another clue we can follow. So we ended up spending the morning travelling along the coast from one fishing town to another. This is the 4th town we've searched so far. It's about time we actually found something. So, Cersei, what's the situation? Want to give it a try? Really? Will it still work if it's me? Well, I'll still be holding the pendulum, but you can see for yourself if you'd like. Color me intrigued, I'm in. Alright, well just like this. I'll hold the pendulum. Direct me to move in different directions to see how it reacts. Very well, bring it on. Pendulum won't respond right away, so the tick is to point in one direction and wait a while. Once you find the spot where it reacts the strongest, just shout that you figured it out. Got it. When it comes to yelling, I'm your guy. Feels like it's maybe moving a bit more. If we go to this house. I mean, maybe they're on... well, they're not going to be on a different island, are they? What if they're literally in this house? There, maybe? Kind of all looks the same to me. It's a bit less there. Look at this again. Not knowing quite how long you have to wait is a handicap. Hypnotize myself. Oh, yeah. No, that's going. There, right there. Not quite. The reaction should be much stronger than that. Takes a little time for it to react, so if you move around too fast, it might be hard to notice. Well, we're searching this place high and low for information. That's how it works. Got it. Okay, so... it's going down again, so... Oh, that's it, surely. There, right there. You got it? So that means it's somewhere up there. Well, it may still be a bit further out, but at least we figured out what direction to go. I knew it was about time we hit the right spot. All right, let's follow this thing and see where it leads us. Right. Ah, this is it. It's the apartment furthest back on this building's ground floor. Got it. Hello? Anybody home? Oh, you don't hesitate, huh? Yeah, well, we're here on behalf of Mr. Ikuma. No answer. I guess no one's home. No, I can sense a presence. Hello? We'd love to talk about the iron box. Oh, it's her. Samakawa. Yeah, so she's the one we think might be Avi's mum, yeah? We haven't... We haven't... I don't think I've done her voice before. I'm just going to do it neutrally, because the user has a neutral voice, doesn't he? What is it? Ah, you two. Avi and Circe, is it? So you're the ones who found that iron box? Yeah, that's right. You know, I've never talked to foreigners before. I'm so nervous I can hardly think straight. Please, no need to be so tense, Miss Somakawa. I promise we're both harmless and cheerful. Right. Okay. Can't really search around too much. Let's look at her first. She is the descendant of the last Taishima survivor. The way she dresses makes her look older, but I'd say she's probably around my age. I thought she'd be difficult to deal with, but now that we've actually met her, I'd say it's more like she's extremely cautious. The type to never let her guard down. Can't even begin to imagine the kind of life she's led. Still, the fact that she's wearing traditional clothing is actually quite charming. I'd hardly seen anyone wearing traditional clothes since coming to Japan, which was a bit of a shock, to be honest. So suggests old-fashioned, suggests has been around quite a while, yeah? Alright, let's talk to her. Allow me to emphasize what an honor it is to meet a descendant of Taishima. Who's to say it's even true? I suppose your family must have lived in this town for generations. Nah, I moved here a couple of years back. Oh, why's that? It's got nothing to do with the two of you. Ah, well, fair enough. Then if you don't mind me asking, do you have any other family or relatives, Miss Somakawa? Why? Apologies, I was merely wondering if there are any other descendants. Dunno, but I'm probably the only one left. That too will come to an end, though, soon enough. Oh, what do you mean by that? No more than what I said? So, do you live here by yourself, Miss Somakawa? That's right. Okay, very forthcoming. Where exactly did you come across the iron box? I followed this map that was in my family's possession. Supposedly it was left behind by the Onmyoji who sealed away the curse of Taishima. A map, you say? It led us to the iron box. It must have been resting at the bottom of Issa Bay. Since it's such a valuable artifact, deeply connected to Taishima's lost history, we felt we absolutely had to tell you about it, Miss Somakawa. Oh, yeah? If I may say so, I noticed your interest in the iron box. Could it be you already knew of its existence? I didn't know it was a box, but I've been told something still remained to the island. That makes sense. Speaking of that box, I don't suppose there was something inside? Yes, what's inside was a record detailing how Taishima was destroyed, along with information on the curse of the raging waves. A record? Oh, allow me to fill you in on the details. And that sums it up. Such a horrid man, wouldn't you say, massacring the people of Taishima because he wanted to find a mermaid that bad. That grudges left behind by the events coalesced into two separate curses, and ultimately, Taishima was destroyed along with everything else. I'm sure it must be excruciating to hear the tale of how your ancestors' home was destroyed. But I believe the story should be passed down to people so people can learn of Taishima's true history, wouldn't you agree? And that was all recorded in that box. so she's not going to say anymore. What are we thinking? So she was more than willing to meet us than expected. That iron box proved more useful than I thought. Nice work, Cersei. I'll treat you to more nigiri sanbei later. No, we better wait before broaching this topic. If she realizes we're after the Tamatabako, it'll only make her more cautious. By the way, you may consider this the curious whims of a fantasy author, but would you be able to elucidate me on... I would imagine that's would you be able to educate me on some of the stories that have been passed down in your family? Now I get it. You also came here because you want to ask about mermaids, eh? Yeah. All right, you got me there, it's true. But can you blame us? As a fantasy author, it is in my blood. If mermaids truly do exist, then I must sate my curiosity. Yeah, I knew it. Whatever your motives, you're not getting the Tamatabako. I'm not falling for one of Akoma's schemes. Ah! Did you just say that Akoma is after the Tamatabako? Oh, so you didn't know? Well, he is. That's exactly why I hid it somewhere no one will ever find it. I see. It must be very precious to you, then. Well, I'm relieved that iron box found its way to you, then. So, is there a curse stone inside the iron box? A curse what? Don't play dumb. There must have been one. Well, so you already know about it. There was indeed a curse stone inside. That's what I thought. And how about a trade? You two want the Tamatabako, don't you? Oh, a trade? I didn't think we'd be going this far out. You certainly shook me when you said we had to take a boat all of a sudden. You'd think the Tamatabako would be hidden at sea. What an incredible plot twist. Ah, my apologies. I guess that's just the writer in me coming through. This is all too thrilling. You sure can talk. Oh, believe it or not, I'm actually holding back. I can actually go on and on at great length once I get started. That wasn't praise. There's nowhere to run on an island. No matter where you go, someone's always near. Always too loud. Grating on the ears. The sea, though. Once you get this far out, it's nice and quiet. Nothing but the sound of the waves. No talking, no irritating folk or commotion. Only fish swimming without a sound. This is fine. Stop the boat. We are somewhere off the coast of Toba City, accompanied by the sound of the waves and the cries of seabirds. Did she really hide the Tamatabako here, in a place with no landmarks whatsoever? And if it's at the bottom of the ocean here, how are we supposed to retrieve it? Miss Somakawa used to be an armor diver. Could she be planning to go down and get it herself? Can't shake the feeling there's something behind me. That butterfly. Whoa! This is one of Cersei's abilities, a Shikigami. When someone's name is written on a piece of paper, she can make that paper fly towards that person. They're great for delivering messages or tracking down someone. I was pretty spooked the first time I saw it, but I've gotten used to it. Okay, fine, I did just go whoa, but not because I was actually surprised or anything. Something wrong? Ah, no, it's nothing, don't mind me. I wonder if something happened to Cersei. I'd better read the note. Arnav Barnum, let's take a look. Ran into two suspicious people looking for Miss Somakawa. I drove them off for now, but be careful. Seems like something happened on Cersei's end. So that would be Yumiko and... I forgot, it's been so long since we did him, I've forgotten. Is it Sodo? I'd better stay alert just in case, but I don't think I'll mention this to Miss Somakawa. It'll only shake her up. In the boat. Anything Mockingbird related? Alright, let's have a look at her. She looks so solemn. I wonder what's going through her mind. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little concerned. She still hasn't told me the conditions of our trade. Will she ask me to trade her the cursed stone? So, will you tell me what you want to trade for the Tamatabako now? You've got the Forsaken Fish Curse Stone with you, right? Sure do. Have a good look. The Forsaken Fish Curse Stone. Yeah, looks like the real deal, all right. You want to trade the stone for the Tamatabako, right? I figured as much. Well, I'm fine with those terms. Let's do it. No, that ain't it. Oh? That ain't it? You know, I once had a sister. Her name was Mari Somikawa. Oh. Okay, so Mari was the name. Mari Minakuchi, as we know, is Yuza's mom. And until now, we thought this was her. So what if... Yeah, Mari... If we think that Mari was a mermaid, one of the two that survived Taishima, then this would mean Sumikawa with us is the other one, perhaps? That does suggest that, doesn't it? Let's see where we go with that. You say you had a sister. Does that mean... Yeah, she's gone. Died in an accident at sea about 5 years ago. So yeah, Mari did die then. But that would explain the resemblance to Somikawa here. I see. My condolences. So there actually was another descendant. You folks seem to be pinning your hopes on me just because I'm one of the descendants. But the one who actually inherited our duty wasn't me. It was our sister. My sister. Your duty? That's right. The duty of the Taishima bloodline. It's been passed down in our family for generations. Or maybe she's not a mermaid. Maybe they weren't mermaids then. Maybe they were just the descendants of the sort of human guardian of the mermaid then, the one who survived. Which makes sense why she died at sea, I guess. Even more, our generation would be the one who handled the 400th year since the disaster. My grandpa always said that was particularly important. So there was a duty Taishima's descendants were meant to perform after 400 years. I was young back then, still had dreams of my own. I wanted no part in some annoying duty. So I ran away from home the first chance I got. Pushed all that responsibility onto my sister. I know I should have helped her. I see. So that's why your sister was the one who inherited that duty. This duty you mentioned, was it to break what remains of the curse of the raging waves? Yeah, I mean, I suppose they were connected, but lifting the curse would have been a step along the road. It weren't the goal. Oh, really? Then what was it? Well, it was to return the mermaid that was left behind in Issa Bay to Ryugu. That was the real duty of the Taishima bloodline. Okay, let's just digest this for a while. It was to return the mermaid that was left behind in Issa Bay to Ryugu. Singular mermaid. Okay, interesting. Return a mermaid? So it's true, there really was a mermaid stuck in Issa Bay because she couldn't return to Ryugu. That's right. Her name was Sobe. Yeah, so it was Sobe and... I can't remember the third one. Hayase was the one who died. Oh, she's come up in our research, so she was real after all. You see, my sister that took on the family duty, it seems like she actually met Sobe herself. She got to meet the mermaid. After leaving my hometown and making a living as an armour diver, I'd all but forgotten about the duty I'd left behind. I'd no idea what our duty actually entailed. When I finally learned the truth, I was crushed by regret. Regret? Why? You know, ever since I was a little girl, I'd always been fascinated by mermaids. Understandable. I read The Little Mermaid so many times, the pages of the book had started to wear away. I'd see them in my dreams over and over. Back then, I wanted nothing more than to become a mermaid. It's what led me to become an armour diver in the first place. But the truth of the nature of the family duty is only revealed to the one who inherits it. I see. What bitter irony. But couldn't you meet the mermaid after you learned the truth? My sister took pity on me and attempted to call her to meet me once in secret. My sister, Mari, even shared some of the things the mermaid had told her. But you know, Sobe was a cautious mermaid who never truly opened her heart to anyone but my sister. Me, on the other hand, she avoided. I was never even allowed so much as a glimpse. Quite the bitter outcome. Mari and the mermaid had grown close as friends. They trusted each other. They were inseparable. But she never once showed herself to anyone other than my sister. Not even to a close relative like myself. So she hid herself away for 400 years. Was such caution really necessary? Your sister must have been an incredible person to earn the mermaid's trust. Though I can only imagine how hard it must have been to be rejected by an existence you so deeply admired and longed to meet. Mari moved to Kamishima to be closer to Ryugu, all for the mermaid's sake. And one day she got married and changed her name to Mari Minakuchi. She seemed so happy. So she got married on Kamishima. I was so jealous I couldn't think straight and ended up lashing out pretty badly. In an attempt to destroy my sister's relationship with the mermaid, I grabbed our family heirloom and ran off. The wooden box. The infamous Tamatabako, yes? Yeah. The mermaid was supposed to take it back to Ryugu, so our family had carefully kept it for centuries. And so the years went by. 5 years ago, I heard that Mari had died in an accident, and that's why I came back to Toba. I thought that maybe this meant the duty would be passed on to me. Of course. But by then our parents and all our relatives had already passed away. There was no one left who knew about our duty. There was nothing I could do. I didn't know a thing. Not where the mermaid was, nor how to call her. I'd given up. But while I was digging around, that man Akoma found out I was a descendant of Taishima. You see, I was struggling to get by. I'd sold the information my sister had told me about the mermaid. Back then, I was making a living by giving folks a glimpse of the Tamatabako for a ridiculous price. And that brings us to the present, I suppose. Before we discuss the trade, would you take the time to listen to my story? Very well, I'm listening. In other words, since your sister died in that accident, your family's duty was never fulfilled. And now you want us to go find the mermaid for you. Well, that ain't it. Oh, dang. I guess it must have been about 3 months ago. I was wandering the coast alone when the mermaid Sobe appeared before me. Oh, you finally got to meet her. She told me this. The seal on Ryugu's gateway has been lifted, so I'll be returning. Your sister has done a great deal for me. I now ask you to return the Tamatabako. Hang on, my dog's scratching at the door quite insistently. Let me go let him in. Wait, what? The seal was lifted? Is that perhaps why the curse of the raging waves became active again? So what about the Tamatabako? Did you return it to the mermaid? I was so overcome with emotion and excitement I told her. I've hidden the relic. If you want it back, take me to Ryugu. You said what? Not being able to fulfill my duty had been weighing heavy on my heart. But in that moment, the pain was gone. On top of that, I figured the mermaid had come to fetch me. Been able to visit the land of the mermaids. There'd be no greater happiness than that. Sobe simply told me it weren't possible and that she'd forfeit the relic. And with that, she was gone. Oh. So the mermaid has already returned to Ryugu then? Ever since then, all I felt is despair and regret. Completely empty inside. There's nothing left. But then the Tamatabako still exists, doesn't it? Sure does, but even with such a fancy name, in the end it's just a grimy old box. I opened it once. I was hoping there'd be some elixir of eternal youth inside or something, but it was completely empty. I see. Even though I'd still like to trade for it. You sure? I don't see why, but whatever. It's not like anything matters anymore. I'm just sick and tired of it all. My family's duty's been fulfilled. That's what I meant when I said it was all over. In the end, I never did figure out what that Tamatabako really was. The mermaid forfeited it just like that, so maybe it never had any meaning to begin with. So, what do you want in return? I want to do whatever it takes to become a mermaid. Huh? This is Miss Somikawa, don't tell me. You want me to use the curse stone? Simply returning to the sea, that's my only wish. No, listen, there's nothing even remotely beautiful about the curse of the Forsaken Fish. All it will do is turn you into some twisted half-fish monster. Nothing but a grotesque imitation of a mermaid. I know. That's fine with me. The curse is the essence of that mermaid's power. I'm ready to offer up my life to her. But whatever you do, I'll just be drowning myself anyway. So you won't be dirtying your hands. All you have to do is use the curse. My wish will be granted. And you'll be doing me a kindness. That's all there is to it. Just hold on a minute, okay? This is just... The town tobacco's hidden beneath the floorboards of my house. Please do this for me. Miss Somakawa, wait! And she's already gone. Will she come back up if I just wait long enough? Damn it, what now? What do I do? Should I grant her last wish? It's surely no worse than helplessly standing about as she drowns herself. Right. She was serious about this. She's been dreaming about mermaids ever since she was little. I know exactly how that feels. Maybe a curse, but still I will honor her wishes by unleashing the mermaid's power. It's how she wanted to go. I might be the only one who understands Mrs. Somakawa's feelings. If I don't act now, it'll be like denying her final hope and dream. Okay, cool. So that does explain how she turned up, washed up like that. And interesting. I was wondering, so it's good to get that explanation. All makes sense now. Let's have a look. What have we got? Azusa Somakawa was her full name. Taishima descendant, 40 years old. I think we... Oh, well, let's go through it. Let's have it kind of all laid out for us in one place. A woman living in Toba. Although she occasionally does work as an armor diver, it is unclear who she is and where she came from. She apparently showed up in Toba about 5 years ago with nothing but a grubby wooden box to her name, and has been living there ever since. As Mari Minakuchi's younger sister, Azusa is also a descendant of the sole survivor of Taishima. Following the destruction of Taishima, the Somakawa line hid themselves away, living for generations in a small village within the city of Shima. The book The Little Mermaid was a constant fixture in the household, a decision made so that the children of the family would grow up with a familiarity with mermaids, and Azusa read it repeatedly as she grew up, the tale fueling a fervent admiration for mermaids within her. Upon realizing that she could never be a mermaid herself, she instead decided to become an armor diver, thinking it would at least allow her to swim freely through the sea, like the beings she so admired. Thus resolved, she left her hometown behind, leaving the family duty, nothing more than a troublesome burden to Azusa, to be handled by her elder sister alone. For all intents and purposes, it appeared that Azusa's wish had been granted. However, upon returning home, following her parents' deaths, she was taken aback to learn that the family duty inherited by Mari was in fact deeply connected to mermaids. Forgetting how she had pushed the duty onto Mari to follow her own desires, Azusa grew deeply resentful of her sister, accusing her of keeping the mermaid to herself and asserting her right to take up the family duty. But it was too late. Mari and the mermaid had already forged an unbreakable bond that no amount of words or deeds could undo. Following Mari's death, she was finally able to meet the being that had enchanted her for so long. However, her desperate plea for the mermaid to take her back to Ryugu with her was met with a staunch refusal, and the mermaid left shortly after, never to return. With her opportunity to fulfill the family duty gone and her chance at connecting with mermaids lost, Azusa sank into despondency, spending her days in an empty haze. Amidst this despair, the curse of the forsaken fish that appeared before her seemed to be a final chance to have her wish granted. Driven by regret over what she perceived as a life of wrong choices and consumed by her obsession, she threw herself into Issa Bay and surrendered herself to the curse, ultimately dying due to its effects. Her form, writhing in the agony brought on by her sudden transformation, bore no resemblance to the mermaid she had once so admired as a child, yet it is said that the expression on her face when her body was discovered a day later in Futamiguara seemed somehow content. There we go. And we have Sobe, which is the mermaid. We think that she has returned home. Now remember, one died, Hayase died on Taishima, but there was one other. So who was that third mermaid? Let's just remind ourselves. It's probably in the... Oh. Go to the... Hang on. Files. There we go. So probably Traditions History? Issa Bay Mermaid Legend? Does it say... Give the three names here? Ah, here we go. Sobe, Nagami, and Hayase. So we can tick off Sobe and Hayase, I think, but that does suggest that Nagami is still around, doesn't it? So I'm going to head back to the profiles, because there's been some interesting discussion in the comments about, where is she? Yumiko. Now, a few things to note here. this is other people's brought this up, so I'm just going to sort of mention what the comments have been saying. Now, okay, there's actually 3 things, because I can think of something as well. There's a mark on her neck, which I think is probably going to be revealed as something important to the secret about Yumiko. Someone else mentioned her sea green eyes. Again, quite indicative of the ocean, perhaps. I've also just noticed she's wearing earrings made of pearl. And if you remember in the last episode, I think it was Arvi made a comment, Arvi or Cersei made a comment that pearls and mermaids seem to go hand in hand in mythology, I suppose. You will also note on this page that her age is a secret. She's the only one that is the case of. We either know their age, or if we don't know their age, I'm not sure I can think of one here. They tend to just have question marks there. Yumiko is the only one where it is said to be a secret. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention here is that, so she says that she's a housewife, and it makes note that she utterly adores her husband, swooning in admiration whenever topic turns to him. And she seems utterly devoted to this husband, right? Now, we know that the mermaids of Ryugu were said to be priestesses of the god of the sea. Has he been named? I can't quite remember if he's just been referred to as the god of the sea. Now, what if the quote-unquote husband that she is utterly devoted to is actually that god of the sea in Ryugu? So I think it's going to be my theory, and I think others in the comments have had the same theory, that Yumiko is Nagami, right? She is the last, not last surviving mermaid, because the other one went back, but she is the last mermaid still in the mortal world from this Taishima. Calamity, that's my theory. I don't know it yet, but I'm thinking that's what we're going to find out at some point. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on that. After that, we managed to quietly retrieve the Tamatabako from beneath the floor in Miss Somakawa's house. All that was left to secure the dream of immortality was to obtain mermaid flesh. Since Sobe had already returned to Ryugu, we placed our hopes on the last remaining mermaid, Nagame. Oh, look who it is. But we had to act fast, otherwise Ikoma or even those Paranormal Affairs Bureau psychics would get in our way. It might have been the after effects of using the curse, but I got sick the next day and had to spend a full day bedridden at the inn. How pathetic. That's when I heard news that 2 female divers had gone missing near Toba. The fact that I'd been involved in both incidents made me feel even worse. When Cersei heard the news, she just mumbled something with an unreadable expression on her face. I had no choice. There was simply no other way. Or at least, that's what I kept telling myself as I struggled to get out of bed. The next day, August the 7th, we set out to gather more information on Nagame and the other mermaids. We travelled to Kamishima, the island where Mare Somakawa, or rather Mare Minikuchi, used to live. And remember, they met Yuza and his friend, didn't they, while they were there? So I think we should go into arriving on Kamishima now with these guys, and we're going to slowly catch up with kind of current affairs, I think. Yeah. Good. I think we're making progress. It's good to get some things a bit more cemented in mind as to what's going on. Finally, after our long, arduous journey, we have arrived at the fabled island of Kamishima. Hey, are you all right? You don't look so good. You mean you're completely fine? The whole area is literally oozing cursed energy. I didn't think you were so bad before. Is it getting stronger? Can't you dispel curses? Minor ones, sure. This is on a whole other level. I see. It might be best if we don't stay here too long, then. Let's just ask around as much as we can. When you feel like you've reached your limit, make sure you tell me, okay? Got it. I'll do my best. All right. Well, let's start by asking the locals about mermaid legends first. I'd like to ask around and see if anybody knew Mare Minikuchi as well. That's the plan. Let's move. Oh, okay. Right, okay, well I think that probably has brought us up to present day then. Interesting. Okay. So we go, our only choice now is to go to Shadow. Yeah, because they spoke to User and, God, I can't remember User's friend's name. It's been so long since we since we were doing this part of the story. Yeah, let's go to, let me look at the time on the video, hang on. I think we've got a little bit of time left. I may not do this whole Well, I think I might leave it there, actually. It's 40 minutes. That seems a decent length, doesn't it? I think if we go into another chapter, there's the risk that it'll end up like being an hour and a half or something, which is probably a bit much. But I'll just say thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Like I said, I've enjoyed it for getting a bit more sort of concrete info about the identity of Yuza's mum, of this strange lady, the detectives, and now Harvey met. They were descendants of this Taishima. We've kind of got all the history and mystery of that more or less explained now. So I think we're going to move on to, well, we're still looking for Nagame, but I'm pretty sure we know who that is. But also how to dispel these curses, which would be quite good. We've also, Yuza is dead at the moment, so maybe we can go back and change some stuff with that horrible curse that's murdering all the women of Kamishima. But yeah, anyway, let me know your thoughts, particularly around, some of the mysteries that we've cleared up so far. That would be very interesting for me to read anyway. If you have enjoyed it, if you could hit that thumbs up button as well, that'd be awesome. And yeah, a big thank you as always to our channel members for continuing to support Boring Dad Gaming. Continues for me to be hugely appreciated. And if anyone else is interested in checking out memberships and gaining earlier access to my videos, that would be awesome. But thanks very much, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.